Hey folks, Mark here at RC Aviation and Crawling. Previously, we're in my little tiny house. Me and my dog, Buddy. Take a look at Buddy. Buddy's sleeping. Can you see, man? Look at that. I just rescued Buddy yesterday. We had our first night together. Fantastic, beautiful dog. All right. So there's Buddy, and over here is the WL V950. There's the box back there. There's the transmitter. Here's the helicopter. All right. Now I recently posted a video about this lighting kit. Did we get focus? Pretty much. This lighting kit, it's from Dilwe, D-I-L-W-E. Get it from Amazon, $14.99. It's an 8-light kit. Here we can see the diagram that shows you it's for aircraft. We're getting no focus. Holy crap. Anyway, it's for aircraft. Really. It's for aircraft, and it shows you on the left where you want to install them on an airplane, or at least suggestion, and on the right for rotorcraft, helicopter installation suggestion. Very important. The center screen is the chart that shows what lights plug into. Gosh! Let's put it on the floor. All right. Anyway, the little diagram center screen with the glare on there, that tells you exactly where your leads plug in to your lighting controller. Okay, and then you can see right here all those tags that say white, etc. Each lead is labeled as to what color it is and whether it's a solid light or a flashing light. Okay. And so what we've got here is we've got, so we've got, there's our solid green, which will go on the right-hand side. Solid red, which will go on the left-hand side of the fuselage. Okay, then here, dead center screen, we have a solid clear light, which is going to be a landing light, up forward and pointing downward. Okay, and then over here is our other solid landing light for the front. And then here, we have our two flashing clear lights. Yeah, center screen, flashing clear lights. Those are going to go, let's see, those are going to go on, let's see, where are they going to go? Those are going to go on either side of the helicopter, I think. And then lastly, we have the flashing red, center screen red, and those will go on the tail, 2 of them. Okay, so it's connected, it works. All I have to do is install the lights now. Now, since this is not really a receiver per se, well, it's a flight controller, which is basically not as fancy as a receiver, it seems to me. There's some light. So this inexpensive flight controller, as opposed to like a Spectrum flight receiver, this does not have an auxiliary input or a bind port on there. So what I did is I simply, if you look right there, there's 3 leads coming out of there, a black, red, and white. Well, I simply and this is for one of the servos. So I simply tapped into the red and black leads, as you can see where the masking tape is. See, I tapped the power lead for the lights into this input on the receiver, into the wiring rather, dead center screen. There we go. The little flight controller board input spot right here, dead center screen, right? Gee whiz. There, that right there. I simply tapped into the ground wire and the power wire here, and now that's how I got my power. Not needing to have an auxiliary port. I simply tapped into existing wiring that was plugged into an existing port. Okay, so the last thing to do is to go ahead and run my wiring. Yeah, run my wiring. For example, these 2 flashing reds. Yep, they will go back to the tail. Go back to the tail. Right. They'll go back to the tail, and as you can see, we've got plenty of room, plenty of wire, right, to go back to the tail. No problem. We've got these little housings that are fantastic. Now I'm going to drill holes in the fuse exactly where I want the lights, at least for the ones that are on the fuse. And then I put these little housings in. Let's put them down there. There we go. Put these little housings in, right? And the part here. Oh. Okay, so this part here, you squeeze these in and put them into the hole that you've drilled, and then those will pop into place and hold these. And your bulbs are going to go in that end, right there. Shink. Yep. And then once you got the bulb in there, then again you press this into the hole that you've drilled, and these clips will go inward, and when they go in the hole, and then they'll release and lock into place afterwards. So we're going to use that to mount the lights, and our lighting controller is mounted. It's a big mess under here. We'll get rid of all these tags and stuff, but the lighting controller is actually mounted on the bottom of the battery. You can see it in yellow here. It's a little tough to see. There you go. I've actually got this mounted. Now, just like an airplane, when you add a NAV light kit or anything else to the airplane, a camera, you have to make sure that your aircraft maintains the proper CG after you've done the install. So my proper CG called for me to put the lighting controller here on the battery, connected to the bottom of the battery, and it's directly below the main rotor shaft, which means the flight controller itself is not throwing the copter out of CG at all. Now the wiring going out the tail will throw it off a little bit, but not enough to make a difference, folks. All right, and I can adjust for that with a little forward trim if I need to. So that's it. There we go. You got the lights flashing. Those did flash. And so again, the next thing to do will be to drill holes in here and install each light into its little housing there. And then put the housing into the hole, right? And then install the canopy back on the helicopter. Install the canopy back on the helicopter and we'll be done. And that's going to be cool. So I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes next. I'm going to go ahead and install my lights in the fuse. And then the very last thing will be tucking all the wiring out of the way and making everything nice and tidy and neat and out of sight. Yeah, out of sight. And like out of sight, man, far out. I'm a hippie. It'll be out of sight, and also the wires will be out of sight. Okay, so that's it. So the next thing will be to show the finished deal with the canopy on and the lights installed, and we'll show you what a clean install you can do with this kit. And then this evening we'll take it out and do a test flight out in the street. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. Oh, important. No, I already showed that. Yeah, I wanted to really show that how I tapped into an existing receiver channel, an existing wiring in order to get the power for my setup. So there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. And I hope you watch the Night Maiden showing off these lights. They're very bright. I've used them on a helicopter before, and I use them on my Carbon Cub S2 right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. Signing off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.